Good morning. Welcome back to my podcast. So something unusual happened last night, although I guess not all that unusual. A friend sent me a notice that was in English that I later received in Chinese about how the Chinese people were going to band together as a nation, literally. Air raid sirens would sound and car horns would beep, honoring those who had died because of the virus here in China. And I sent out an Instagram post with a kind of a flip response about you can't really blame them. And the Chinese people in general are very strong. I'm not going to go through the whole history lesson, but in the last 250 years, China's been through more as a large nation than some small nations that have been oppressed. China either has stepped on its own feet or has had its feet stepped on it by somebody who took advantage of them in some way. Less so now than before, but certainly still it's been a rough road for the Chinese people. And don't for a second think that because I love the Chinese people that I care at all about the Chinese government. For heaven's sakes, I have trouble respecting and loving my own government, which is my right in my country, but it is not the right here. That being said, the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, decided this would be a good idea, and I agree. So this morning I had an errand to run. I donned my mask and I set out on my on my Sako TC Max, and I drove way too fast through the city to get there so that I could turn my computer in and get the screen repaired on my Surface Book. So I did this almost forgetting that this was going to happen at 10 a.m. on April 4th. And as I was sitting there waiting for the guy to wait on me, he took a hold of my computer, and outside I heard the horns start. And I must have looked like an idiot to him because I leapt out of my seat, I ran to the window, and I recorded about 3 minutes, and I'm going to ask you to listen to it all. 3 minutes of blaring horns and air raid sirens, and it was something. So I'd like to play that for you now. I would encourage you to listen to the end. So this is what I heard at 10 a.m. on April 4th, 2020, in Beijing, China. You're listening to China, Mourn It's Dead, 10 a.m., April 4th, 2020. The combination of air raid horns and sounds was advertised as sounding like a whale. And by God, it does. These are some emotional times. God bless the people of China. And so, like whaling often does, it fades and returns to what is now normal. Goodbye for now.